them free to move. We don't have a center aisle this year in this room, so in order to allow for freedom of movement and fewer accidents, I think that pretty much covers that one. Some final thoughts. As a courtesy to our presenters and fellow attendees, please try and be in place at the start time for the presentation. Even though we do have that extra little block of time now left at the end of Saturday afternoon, it's still nice to start on time, and any of the presentations that are being done for us on Skype, which will be, I don't know, Japan, Australia, where else? California. That's why the television's here. So those are pretty much time sensitive. Second one here, I got that from editing videotapes last year. That there was a lot of crosstalk going on during presentations, and sometimes you wouldn't hear too well what was being said. So would you please refrain from doing that? Now, if there's something you have to do, like you get an urgent phone call, or you want to talk to someone about a topic that is not particularly germane to what's going on in that session, if you would just move out through the back door into the lobby, there's plenty of comfortable chairs out there that you could sit in and do things without disturbing those that are here and those who are doing presentations. And I guess this wraps up my time. So enjoy your time at Warpstock 2015. Any questions? Yes?
Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening to Warpstock and how this place was chosen, and particularly about the finances? I always use this Amazon link when I'm buying stuff. I don't know, are we actually getting any money from that, or am I the only one?
I'm happy to talk to all those things, Jeff. And I'm usually with the so it's official. Why was this location chosen?
I'm happy to be here. I've never been here.
Let me tell you something. This property just amazes me. We haven't been in such a nice place in quite some time. As you know, 2013, 2014, we were in Drury hotels. We've enjoyed our stay with the chain. Contract negotiations are easy. They have a pretty standard contract from one property to the other. And the pricing is very reasonable for the meeting rooms and the guest rooms from what we've been able to ascertain in particular locations. We started by looking at where Drury had properties and then where we would like to be, and narrowed the list down from there, and this was one of the top spots. And it just, when we looked at the photos of the property and we considered the area and the fact that we hadn't been to Wichita before, we just sort of settled on this. I mean, it could have easily have been San Antonio, was that in the running? A couple of other places. Frankly, I'm really pleased that we selected this one. I was just, when I got here, I mean, those of you who are staying at the hotel, you know this is quite a place. In terms of finances, Warpstock, of course, is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Any funds that are donated to Warpstock are fully tax deductible to the extent they exceed any value received. So if you pay us for something, that's not a charitable contribution. If you donate funds to us, that is a charitable contribution. Amazon link. Absolutely, Warpstock gets a bump from Amazon when you shop through the Amazon link on the Warpstock Warpstock website, or you save a bookmark to Amazon with the Warpstock Amazon Associates ID in it. We do get a bump, it's a couple % on that. I always shop through the Amazon link for Warpstock's Amazon link.
So no matter what Amazon thing you happen to purchase, this happens?
No matter
If you
what,
go that way?
my link in my browser includes our associate ID.
Yeah.
So every time I buy something on Amazon, and my Amazon subscriptions that I have, I think the only thing that doesn't is on my Roku device when I have Amazon streaming and it goes to my Amazon account, because there's no way to associate that directly. But all of that money is put to good use. All of that goes into Warpstock's coffers, and it helps us do things like pay for lunch tomorrow. We have had profitable events in the past. 2005 in Hershey was a profitable event for the predecessor organization. We've also had very, very not profitable events. Let me put it that way. So any bit of money that comes into Warpstock is put to good use. We are funded in the sense that we're not worried that we're going to run out of cash in the near future. But that doesn't mean that we want to discourage people from giving money to the organization. We're not, no one is paid at Warpstock. It's an all volunteer organization. We have cash reserves in the bank, but obviously we want to maintain an influx of cash so we can continue doing events without having to be concerned about, well, if we don't meet the minimum number of attendees that we expect, we're not going to have enough money to actually pay the hotel for the room. We don't have that problem right now. And we don't foresee having that problem, assuming we have a continuous influx of cash. We also have other operating expenses. The domain name renewal every year, we now have an SSL certificate for the website. We're going to redo the website this year, hopefully. There are other expenses involved in running an organization, even if it's a not-for-profit organization. So we do need that income. Does that kind of answer your question, Jeff?
So if you actually get money from the Amazon thing, maybe send out another message to everybody saying, always use it, I bookmark it, and tell all the people in your domain, you know, wives, children,
Right.
everybody, use it. I mean, essentially it's free money.
It is.
So that was my thought.
It is.
The way
It
we
costs
can help.
nothing more to shop Amazon through the link on our site than it does to go straight to Amazon.com and shop. It costs the consumer absolutely nothing. Amazon just divvies up their percentage.
They just cut the wages of their warehouse workers a little more.
We have a couple of other affiliate things, but I can't recall. We at one time had signed up with Safari Bookshelf through O'Reilly Media, but they've changed the program so much that I don't think that we participate in that one anymore.
So you can send that link out, actually.
It is posted on the website, but it's sort of scrolled off the current news. I'll repost it and see if I can stir something up. And we should probably send out an e-news reminder to everyone about that.
How many signed up to come today for this meeting?
I think at last count we had 21.
So the years of Warpstock haven't yet exceeded the number of attendees. Kind of a...
Good point. I mean, look, I will tell you that as a Novell consultant, when Novell canceled their BrainShare conference a few years ago, I was no longer concerned that Warpstock's attendance numbers had dropped. Because I've been to BrainShare for Novell, and, I mean, there were thousands of people there, and they canceled the event a few years ago. And then they combined it with something else. None of these events are as popular now as they once were, because we have webinars, we have all sorts of online stuff. We don't have a vendor room anymore. It used to be that these were big attractions for vendors to sell their wares and show their latest things. The industry's changed. We just don't do that kind of stuff anymore. And it's not just us. That's the important thing to remember. You know, for many years, the Warpstock organization was concerned that it was the fact that we cater to an operating system that was not being actively promoted by its original publisher, that our attendance was dwindling. That's really not the case. Attendance for these type of events has been tapering off for a number of years. So we're not worried that we're going to run out of people coming. That being said, it is just as much work to do an event like this for a dozen people as it is for a couple hundred people. So I would prefer to have a couple hundred people, because if I'm working hard, I'd like to have more bodies to show for it. But we believe that we provide pretty good value for the dollar, and we all have fun. I've never had anyone come to me after an event and say, you know, I had a rotten time this weekend. I don't know what you people are doing with yourselves. So until that happens, I think we'll pretty much keep doing what we're doing. And we're always interested in new ideas and new suggestions. The unconference thing is really, I think that was Martin's idea, the unconference, and that's, we're going to see how that works this year and see if that's a regular feature.
Did we fly Martin?
Martin was able to secure enough supporters to fund his trip.
Very good.
Yeah, Warpstock did not pay for Martin to make the trip. So
I like the two continent stuff here.
now maybe we could do a Warpstock down where Martin is one of these days. In Ecuador. Anything else? I don't want to run over time here, so.
Okay,
Have I run over time?
probably.
Yeah, probably.
We were going to assign a timekeeper. It was going to be Stuart, but I don't see him here. So,
We were going to assign a timekeeper.
so,
We'll figure that one out.
okay.
One thing I have here, and I'm just mentioning this to everyone, but particularly those people who are doing presentations. I brought with me this Logitech Presenter, it's referred to, and it's as simple as turning on the power and plugging in a USB stick to your computer. It works with Windows, naturally. Works at home, I tried it and it worked on ECS. It does tell me it doesn't work with Linux or Mac. I haven't tried it on them, so anyways, anyone who wishes to use it, I'll leave it up here for them to use.